Every night as the city quiets down, it's just me in the empty streets. My routine 20-minute walk home from work shifts from mundane to mysterious as I approach the deserted area. The silence there is heavier, filled with the echoes of what once was. But what really sends a shiver down my spine is that abandoned building, standing solemnly among forgotten tales. It's not just the sight of it, but the feelings it evokes, as if it's whispering secrets into the night. Secrets about its past occupants, secrets it's urging to share with someone who dares to listen. This stretch of my journey, wrapped in the building's eerie aura, makes my heart beat a little faster, reminding me of the thin line between the known and the unknown. I've grown accustomed to the peculiar symphony of the night, the howling wind that carries whispers of the past, the occasional scurry of a stray cat seeking refuge in the shadows. These sounds, once unnerving, became the backdrop to my nightly sojourn. Yet, there was one evening that unsettled this newfound comfort. As I passed the abandoned building, a place that usually stood silent and watchful, it felt alive. It wasn't just the usual creaks and sighs of an old, forsaken structure. There was a presence, a warmth that contradicted its cold, desolate appearance. My eyes caught a flicker of light, the glow of a candle dancing behind the dusty windows. For a moment, my heart hoped it was merely a homeless soul seeking shelter, a benign explanation for this anomaly. But deep down, a seed of dread was planted, suggesting that this light was a harbinger of stories untold, of secrets fiercely guarded by the decaying walls of that eerie edifice. Then, amidst the dim light and the shadows that played tricks on my eyes, there it was. A figure, dark and undefined, yet unmistakably human, appeared in the window, staring straight at me. In that frozen moment, my heart pounded against my ribs, a frantic drummer signaling alarm. Was it fear that gripped me? Or was it a morbid curiosity about who, or what, stood in the darkness of that forsaken place? Questions swirled in my mind, but my body responded with primal instinct. I turned on my heels and ran, not daring to look back, driven by a rush of adrenaline. But in my haste, reality struck as harshly as the concrete beneath my feet. A misstep, a sudden loss of balance, and I was falling, tumbling into the gritty embrace of the cold, hard ground. The taste of blood and dust filled my mouth, a stark reminder of the thin line between fear and the tangible dangers that lurk in the shadows. Limping home, every step was a sharp reminder of my encounter, not just with the ground, but with the unknown. My mind was a whirlwind of thoughts, replaying that moment of eye contact with the figure in the window. Who was it? A vagrant seeking solace in the shadows, or something far more sinister? The answer arrived with chilling clarity 2 weeks later, splashed across the morning headlines. A murderer, cunning and elusive, had been hiding in plain sight within the derelict walls of that abandoned building. Those moments of unease, the chills that danced down my spine as I passed by each night, weren't merely reactions to the cold night air. They were primal warnings, a subconscious recognition of danger lurking just beyond the veil of darkness. It was a sobering realization that sometimes the most frightening stories are not those of ghosts and ghouls, but of the monsters that walk among us. Looking back on those tense moments, I often find myself caught in a web of what-ifs. What if my nightly journey had made me more than just a fleeting figure to that hidden predator? The thought sends a cold shiver down my spine, a reminder of how narrowly I skirted the edge of danger. Luck, it seems, was my silent companion, guiding me away from a fate too grim to contemplate. This harrowing experience has etched a deep lesson into the fabric of my being. The importance of trusting your instincts. These gut feelings, these whispers of caution, we sometimes dismiss as mere nervousness, might just be the guardians of our safety in the cover of night. They are the unseen sentinels that guide us away from unseen threats. A reminder that sometimes our primal instincts are the most sophisticated defense mechanisms we have. So, there I was, sitting on the edge of my bed, nursing my pride more than the scrape on my knee. It's funny, isn't it? How a moment steeped in fear can suddenly make every sense more acute, every moment of existence more vivid. That night, as I lay in the quiet of my room, every creak of the house, every rustle outside the window seemed amplified. My heart would race at the smallest sounds, a testament to the adrenaline still coursing through my veins. I kept whispering to myself, trying to drown out the fear with logic. It's just the wind, just the shadow of a tree branch, nothing more. But those attempts at reassurance felt hollow. The encounter had peeled back a layer of my reality, revealing a world where danger could lurk in the most mundane of shadows. And yet, in that heightened state of awareness, I felt more alive than ever. Every breath a declaration of survival. But there's this lingering feeling, a persistent echo in the back of your mind that refuses to be silenced. It's the profound realization that you dodged a bullet, narrowly escaping a fate far darker than a simple scare. That silhouette, haunting the window of the abandoned building, wasn't just a figment of the night, or an ordinary passerby lost in the shadows. Those sounds that prickled the back of your neck, that made the hairs stand on end, they weren't mere coincidences or playful tricks of the wind. They were warnings, clear and unmistakable, whispers from the universe or whatever force you believe watches over us. It's a chilling thought, the idea that sometimes we receive messages, cautions from beyond our understanding. Acknowledging this, you can't help but feel a mix of gratitude and unease, a reminder of the thin, often blurred line between safety and peril in our lives. 2 weeks after that unnerving encounter, the morning unfolded with a revelation that turned my daily routine into a moment of stark realization. There I was, seated at my kitchen table, a cup of coffee before me, its warmth fading into the morning air. It remained untouched, forgotten, as my eyes were glued to the headline that sprawled across the front page of the newspaper. A murderer had been lurking within the skeletal frame of that abandoned building, a predator cloaked in the shadows of normalcy, hiding in plain sight. This person had stalked a woman for weeks before committing an act too gruesome to fully digest with my morning read. The coffee, once a comforting ritual, now sat cold and bitter, a stark contrast to the heat that flushed through me, a mix of anger, relief, and a haunting question. What if? Yeah, you get the picture. You'd think that after such a chilling encounter, and the horrifying revelations that followed, I'd change my route home, right? Steer clear of that eerie, abandoned building and the memories it housed. But no, I found myself drawn back to that path, compelled by a need stronger than fear. I needed to face it, to walk past that building again, to reclaim the sense of normalcy that had been so brutally shaken. Only this time, as I approached, the building took on a new significance. It was no longer just an empty, forgotten structure. It had become a stark reminder of the proximity of danger, a a testament to the fact that it can lurk in the most unsuspecting of places, hidden in plain sight. Every step I took was heavy with the weight of this realization, each glance at the darkened windows a confrontation with the thin veil that separates the everyday from the unthinkable. This time, my approach was different. I walked slower, deliberately. My eyes were wide open, scanning the shadows, and every sense was sharpened by the cocktail of fear and adrenaline coursing through me. Yes, the fear lingered, an unwelcome companion on my nightly walk, but intertwined with that fear was a newfound resolve, a defiance, a silent proclamation that I refused to be intimidated by this darkness and its hidden dangers. Let's not paint the wrong picture here. I'm no hero. My bravery has its limits, and practicality took the lead. I started carrying pepper spray, a small but significant shield against the unknown. But I certainly don't linger around that part of my journey anymore. The building and its sinister memories serve as a reminder that I pass by with cautious speed, alert and prepared, my fear mingled with a stubborn resilience. The layers of this experience, woven through with fear and fortitude, peel back to reveal not just a tale of a close encounter, but vital lessons that linger far beyond the moment of crisis. The first takeaway? Listen to your gut. That primal instinct, that whisper in the back of your mind, is more than just paranoia. It's an evolutionary guardian, honed over millennia to sense danger. Recognize that being scared isn't a weakness. Rather, it's a signal that you're fully present, aware of your surroundings, and responsive to potential threats. And perhaps one of the most practical pieces of advice to emerge from this ordeal: share your journey. Whether it's the path you walk home or the ventures of daily life, let someone in on your route. Let them know when to expect you back. This simple act of sharing isn't just about safety. It's a testament to the strength found in connection, a reminder that we're not navigating the shadows alone. Life, with its intricate tapestry of experiences, is dotted with dark corners and unexpected turns. These are the patches on our journey where the light seems to falter, where uncertainty and fear whisper from the unseen. We can't possibly avoid every shadow, sidestep every pitfall that lies in our path. Yet, what defines us in the end is how we choose to navigate these stretches. For me, the choice is clear. I'll continue to walk through life with my eyes fixed forward, my senses attuned to the world around me. Perhaps I'll quicken my pace when I pass by those certain shadows, the memories of past encounters urging my feet to move a bit faster. But the key is to always keep moving forward. It's in this relentless forward motion that we find our strength, our resilience. Each step, whether cautious or confident, is a testament to our commitment to press on, to face life's complexities with an unyielding spirit.